Hey everyone, so this video is for people who are trying to decide which mousepad hardness to get when looking at the ARTISAN Zero Classic or FX. If you go on the ARTISAN website, they have a table that compares the different types of hardness. Obviously, from the table, it looks like the mid is the most optimal. However, I purchased the XSoft because at the time, it was the most recommended for tactical shooters, and pro players like TENS were using it. So firstly, I'm going to run through my personal experiences with the XSoft. I noticed right out of the box, the quality of the pad felt amazing, and it still feels amazing. In the first couple weeks, the speed, control, and overall stability of the pad felt really good. It surprisingly had more glide than my SteelSeries QCK, and I was super happy with it. But then I noticed the pad started to quickly lose its glide, which was expected. People say it takes a couple of weeks for the mousepad to break in, so I was like, okay, maybe this is normal. But then it kept slowing down to the point where my mouse movements felt really muddy, and my shots felt way more inconsistent. And people might say, oh, it's because it got dirty. But this was only my first month using the mousepad, so I didn't believe I had to wash it that soon. Anyways, I bed with it for a few months and gave it a good wash. After washing it, it restored maybe 30% of the glide, and the muddiness returned within a week. From my experience, the slowness had a negative impact on my aim, especially with my microflicks. It feels like the bottom of the mouse is being tugged on by the mousepad. Also, when you put too much pressure on the mouse, it sinks into the pad, causing it to slow down even more, which leads to inconsistencies in your aim. It really throws you off when you're in game because ideally you don't want to be thinking about your mousepad at all when you're playing. So I used it for about 5 or 6 months, and after all that I knew I needed to get a harder pad, but I still enjoyed the quality of the ARTISAN pads and the sizes it comes with. So naturally I thought I'd get the soft version. I saw a video of TENS recommending the soft over the XSoft.
The ARTISAN soft or XSoft? Preference really, but I think the soft feels a little bit more consistent than the XSoft. XSoft kind of like divots too much into the mousepad.
But then I did some research, and people were saying the soft felt almost identical in speed to the XSoft, and the only difference was the squishiness of the pad, which made the XSoft feel better on the wrist. Personally, I don't care about any of that. I just wanted to have a mousepad with one consistent speed that didn't compromise the control. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna buy the mid pad. So I received my mid pad around a month and a half ago, and let me just say, for me, it completely destroys the XSoft in almost every way. The glide might feel a little slippery at the start, but you'll get used to it within one day. And after about a week, the pad will break in and that slippery feeling will disappear, but the speed will remain the same. So here's a glide test on both pads. And here are the physical differences between the pads. Obviously the XSoft is a lot thicker and squishier, whereas the mid has a slight sponginess, but for the most part is quite thin. So when comparing the two pads, on the mid, my aim is way more consistent. I can flick faster, it makes micro adjustments way easier, it maintains its glide. In terms of stopping power, it feels identical to the XSoft. I know a lot of people are concerned about that, but the stopping power feels the same. I've had no issues with it whatsoever. It's also harder to get dirty, and it's way easier to clean. You literally just wipe it down with a microfiber cloth and you're done. The only negative things I can really say about the mid is the fact that 1, it doesn't grip onto the table as strongly as the soft, but when you're playing, it won't move, so it doesn't really matter. And 2, the XSoft does feel a little bit better on the wrist, but honestly, first world problems, it's trivial, who cares. In terms of performance differences, my aim labs and Kovacs high scores went up by at least 15% across the board. My headshot rate on Valorant went up by at least 30% on almost every weapon, which ultimately is why I felt so inclined to make this video, because my performance difference was so significant. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. I noticed they reduced the price of this mousepad massively. It went from 6,700 yen to 4,500 yen for the extra large. And you know, of course they reduced the price right after I buy it, but that's okay. I'm obviously not sponsored. I'm not sponsored by ARTISAN, but I highly recommend you guys go ahead and purchase one. I'll link it down below. Alright, thanks for watching, and subscribe if you want to see this mousepad in action. Okay, bye.